Hi guys, not as nice today as it was yesterday. Body's still sore after the game on Sunday. Man, I'm getting old. It's still in bits. But yeah, one thing. Wait a sec, coming now. One thing that I just wanted to talk about was the series Adolescence. So I think it was really well made. I enjoyed it. It's getting talked about a lot, so I feel like I should jump on the bandwagon with it. And just to give you a bit of context about it, so it's about a 13-year-old boy, and the actor was brilliant. I have to give him huge credit. Such a young lad. I think it was his debut role. Cooper is his second name, I believe. Don't know his first name. But really good young actor. Bright future ahead of him. Stephen Graham, who I love. Alright, lads. Stephen Graham always makes me cry. Whatever he's in, that scene at the end. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't seen it. You know, I think everybody watching this will have seen it. If not, I implore you to check it out. There will be some spoilers throughout, just FYI. But the scene at the end is heartbreaking in the 4th episode, when he kisses the teddy bear on the head. Oh, that got me into tears, you know. And I don't know, we're supposed to believe in it, you know. I think I kind of formed my own opinion. You know, some of the teams it's talking about knife crime, for one. The manosphere, as they call it, so toxic masculinity, which gets thrown around a lot. I think one thing that it doesn't talk enough about is toxic femininity. Femininity is a good one. Like, there's a lot of themes in this, and I think it highlights something that we should be looking at. So Jamie is a young boy, 13-year-old, and he's two parents in the house, Stephen Graham and don't know the actress that plays his mum. But they're basically, the house is bombarded by police officers, and they're looking for Jamie, you know, who seems like a fragile young boy. And the shock of them coming in, he pisses himself, you know, he's crying, he pisses himself. You know, and I think what they did a good job of doing was, I guess, making you not want to believe that he was capable of doing what he did. Come on. Which he definitely didn't, you know. You see a young lad and you're there thinking, there's no way he could have done this. And Stephen Graham obviously can't believe it when he hears it, you know, and sees the video footage, which we're led to see that very early on, of Jamie stabbing a girl that was bullying him in school. And look, I'm not going to try and tiptoe or go on a timeline. It'd be exhausting to try and do that. But basically the gist of the story is he's arrested, charged with a serious crime. Stephen Graham comes in as his appropriate adult, you know, so he's in there with him. And as we all are, you know, we're assuming he's innocent because you want to, you know, you don't want to believe he's capable of doing what he did. But sadly he did. But it doesn't really go into the detail enough of the fact that he was being bullied, called an incel. One of the police officers who arrests him, I think Ashley Walters is his name, from Top Boy. His son is a student in the school, and he brings it to his attention that he thinks Jamie might have been bullied, leading to him committing that crime. You know, it's like, so there's motive. And that's what I always hate, you know, because you hear that the child's life was horrendous, but the way the police see it is, that's just motive for him. So that's more proof that he actually did it, you know, so lock him up. There's never any sympathy really given. And look, you do something horrific like that, you don't get much sympathy, but come on, come on. Come on, they're not here. They only bark at you anyway when they come out. See, so I put on a jacket because it was cold, and now it's fucking roasting. You can never fucking predict this weather. I swear. Now it's fucking roasting. Looked like it was gonna rain earlier, and now see the sun. Look, I've got a fucking jacket on me. Oh, now I'm baking. I hate the fucking weather. Changing the way it does. People want to see Irish weather, that's it in a nutshell. It looks like it's going to get cold again now. You never know. Here, come on, pick a side out. I'll trip you up one of these days and I won't have. Come on. What I was talking about was, they will see that incident of him attacking the young girl, and then they'll see that she was bullying him online. And it'll be, oh, we've got him, yeah, because obviously he stabbed her because he was being bullied. Lock him up and throw away the key. And the thing I'd like to highlight as well is when he's being interviewed and they bring in loads of different people to interview him, they're throwing big terms at him that he doesn't really understand, like asking him, were you sexually attracted to her, you know, did you want to be her boyfriend? He's 13, you know. You're 13, mate. He doesn't understand half the shit they're saying to him, and he's obviously angry and frustrated. And yeah, look, you can't go around stabbing people, of course you fucking can. Don't think I need to tell anyone that. But everyone assumed that the young girl was innocent. They all said it. Now this is a series, it's not a documentary like Keir Starmer said. And he said that, by the way, check that out, the House of Lords. He actually called it a documentary. And I believe it was related to the young fella, the black young fella, not the white young fella now, who stabbed the white girl in Stockport. And that's what a lot of people are saying. Most crime, especially knife crime, is committed by people of African and Asian descent in the UK. So why is it a white boy being portrayed as the face of knife crime? Also as well, apparently, which I didn't know, genuinely didn't know this, but apparently those who are subscribing to Andrew Tate and the manosphere thing, a lot of them are also African and Asian. It's not as many white boys as they like to portray. And then, like, I don't know about this, but you automatically assume, don't you, that, oh, your kids after stabbing someone, that you must be bad parents. Stephen Graham's trying to provide for the family. He's a plumber in the shop. Come on. Jeez, you're getting very lazy. Come on then. You want to go back? We go back, but you got to get out in the middle of the road. Look at him. Just literally lie in the middle of the road. Yeah, you can't be lying in the middle of the road, Alf. But to be fair, like, when you look at it, I felt really bad for him, you know, and you kind of, because Stephen Graham's such a good actor as well, it's like it's real life, but it's not. You have to remember it's not. But naturally, as a parent, you would question yourself, you know, we must have fucked up, we must have done something wrong. And Jamie has an older sister who also gets a hard time, and people write nonce on the side of Stephen Graham's van. I have to say they misspelled it now, they put an S instead of a C. Knowns. And you're kind of like, ah, well, at least they misspelled it so nobody's going to know. But he's driving around saying, we go to the pictures, go to see a film, and driving around in a family van with nonce written down the side of the van. He just gets a bucket of paint and fucks it at it. You're with him, like, you love Stephen Graham anyway, like I do. There's these young fellas who he finds out were the ones that did it, and he sees them following him around, and he grabs them, and he's like, don't fucking talk back to me or I'll spark you out. And you're like, go on Steve, hit him. He chucks the bucket of paint at the van, and they're like, oh, you're going to clean that up? And he's like, no mate, of course I'm not. But you see a real human aspect of it, and you're like, he was working every hour that God sent to provide for his kids. What the fuck's he supposed to do? You know, like, in fairness, that's how it is. You know, he took him to football, and then he admitted himself that he was fucked up because, and this one really hit home with me, this actually made me cry. So he said he took him to football and he was crap, but the other parents were laughing at him, and he just couldn't look. You know, he didn't want to look because he didn't want to show him how embarrassed he was. Now, I was actually alright at football, but I can remember that feeling of just never getting any praise for it, you know, only your mistakes being highlighted, and, you know, looking for your dad's approval. It hits home for me. Everyone does, every boy does, you know, they always want their dad's approval. You can tell me they don't, but they do. Because my mum will say stuff to me and I'll be like, yeah, but you don't understand, you don't get it. The women don't. Not their fault, it's a different thing. You want your dad to say he's proud of you, or you know, he loves you, and it's addictive. Which is why I did some things that might seem a bit stupid, you know, jobs that exhausted me, but I thought, he's happy with me, so I'm happy, even though I fucking wasn't. Or at least not in general, you know, maybe for a moment, but health. Come on then, let's go. But you can see that disconnect there to begin with. And then, like, he obviously did everything he could. Like, he wanted computer games, and he was played PlayStation with them, you know, and he was happy because he was connecting with them. They were having a laugh. Then he had to work longer hours. He couldn't be there with them, you know. How are you supposed to be there? Like, it's hard. The modern world doesn't allow for it. Will you stop crossing over? And we have to... Okay. The modern world doesn't allow for it, you know. He had to go out and provide. So even when Jamie got arrested, he was just after coming back in from a night shift. And there's never been a bigger disconnect between parents and kids. There was always some understanding, because they simply didn't grow up with all the technologies that we have. And I mean, this was even the next generation, the Gen Alpha, you know, born in 2012, and Jamie was 13, so he'd be a Gen Alpha now technically. I imagine there's only going to be an even bigger disconnect. But here's the mad thing, right? So I'm Gen Z, which is 1997 to 2012, people born in that time. I didn't know some of the terminology that he was coming out with. You know, like I knew about the red pill and the blue pill, you know, one for the reality, and then one for, you know, to live in dreamland. But all the emojis, like, used for incel, like, and then the different coloured hearts. Literally, I thought to myself, the red heart, as the Ashley Walters says. You got the green heart for Paddy's Day, yellow heart, but I didn't know what any of them meant. The dynamite sign is like, you'll be a virgin for the rest of your life. The 80-20 thing I had heard before, so, you know, like 80% of women want 20% of men. You know, they want the top dog, the Alan Richardsons of the world. Or the Giga Chad, as they're also known. You know, just a very devilishly handsome man. They want the top dog, Ashley Walters. But, yeah, meaning that there'll be loads of men left out that don't get any female attention. And that's basically what your one was saying to Jamie. It was Becky, was the girl he was being bullied by. Becky, yeah, that seems right. But there is a big disconnect. You don't know what your kid's getting up to online. You think they're safe, but they really aren't, because they get influenced by people. But I don't think it was very well done in that sense of, Jamie seemed to like his dad. Him and Stephen Graham got on well. When he was asked if he wanted anyone as an appropriate adult, he immediately said, I want Dad to be there with me. I think, like, an absent father is in someone who doesn't love you and doesn't have a connection with you and doesn't make an effort. He clearly, like Stephen Graham in the movie, clearly made an effort with the movie series, but you know what I mean. He clearly makes an effort with them to get to know him, and even though it's awkward for him. Like, and I know that's probably difficult as a dad. That's why I was so desperate to get involved in sport, to make my dad happy. Now, I liked it, don't get me wrong, I actually genuinely enjoyed it, but it was the social element of it that I couldn't get my head around. That was the most awkward part for me, and how competitive I was as well. Pushed a lot of people away. So it's a difference, but I get where he's coming from. And I mean, if you're a man's man, you assume I'll bring him and play a sport. That's how we'll connect, you know. I imagine it's very awkward for a dad if he doesn't have that connection. And I can empathise with that. Because as a son, more so than a father, but you want to connect. Clearly Jamie did as well, but he had two mates in school and they were all seen as the weird group, and they were bullied and people tripped them up and spat on them. Wouldn't you get a bit resentful as well? Like, I think there's a lot of messages in there that have gotten missed out on, but I'd love to know what you guys thought of the limited series. It's only 4 episodes, but it was well made, but I feel like there's some themes people are taking the wrong way. Definitely like to discuss this a bit further, but sure, we'll see. Stay well, guys. Have a good day. Alright, see you in the next one.